Hey guys, Rikki Rocket with Poison here, and I'm going to do something that I've wanted to do for a while, and that's go over all my gear on tour live on the Stadium 2022 tour. We're not at the stadium today, we're actually doing a headlining show, so it gives me just a second to talk about everything. So let's start with the very first piece of gear that I have to rely on every night, and that's my in-ear monitors. These are Ultimate Ears Live, and they're molded in my ears, so pretty straight ahead, simple deal for that. My drums are Drum Workshop. These are almond wood, and I'm going to list the sizes down below in the description. This is a 24-inch kick, which is something that's a little bit different for me this year because typically I do a 22. I did do a 23, which I know is an oddball, but actually it's a pretty cool compromise between 22 and 24. But I just wanted to go 24 this year. The custom paint is done by a guy named Craig Frazier, and DW. It's all DW 9000 hardware. The cymbals are all Sabian cymbals. The entire set, with the exception of my Splash and my China, are all Paragon. That was the ones that Neil Peart did before his untimely death, obviously. And I love these cymbals. They sound so flippin' rich. I have an AAX on my Splash, an AAX China as well. The other thing I got going on here are a variety of Sennheiser mics. All the toms are 904s, and they come with this clip. They sound really nice and rich and full-bodied. I never have any trouble. I can just screw them down tight. They don't move. I haven't had a mic. I mean, once this is tightened here, they have not moved at all the whole tour. And the way my riser's set up, sometimes it's split in half so that we can move it up on stage. So it does get rocking and rolling sometimes, and I haven't had any trouble with it. Moving on to the kick drum, Sennheiser 902E, and the flat mic inside is the 901. That's what we have inside. For the ride and the hi-hats, I'm using the 614. It's a condenser mic. Now, keep in mind too, front of house guy, we don't, like for instance, my snare drum, I don't have a gate on it. It's wide open. You can hear my ghost notes, all that kind of stuff. So I don't gate and do a bunch of stuff. There is some compression going on. We're in a live atmosphere. We'd have to talk to him a little more about how he's dialing it in. On the snare drum was something that we tried a little bit different this year. It's the MD445. It's a vocal mic. And the report I was getting was there was a bunch of people, a bunch of country artists that love the canceling of the mic for vocals. And so they just tried it for the heck of it on a snare drum just to kind of cancel out that hi-hat, and it worked phenomenal. We were really worried about trying it, and we threw it up there one day, and it was like, everybody just loved it, and we've been using it ever since. I have that on the top. I'm also using it as my vocal mic. So this is my vocal mic setup. We kind of built this out of Drum Workshop parts, and we just keep this not tied down so it's nice and loose, or not screwed down rather. So let's jump up on the kit. It's pretty straight ahead, simple thing. I have, for a click, I have a Boss DB90. It's been around forever, and it's this little guy right down here. I've been using this thing for a while. I just have a little foot switch, a Boss foot switch, and I can turn it off and on. Although I play to a click, some parts and some songs, I'm not married to the click, really. I don't need to be because we're not sequencing anything. There's no canned vocals, no canned anything. Everything you hear with Poison is 100% live, warts and all. People get excited and they want to go fast, or if they're feeling low that day, they want to go low. That is my referee that makes sure that nobody can argue with me, that it is consistent. So that's what I use as far as a click. I'm using a 9,000 hi-hat, but my pedals are 5,000s, and I love 5,000 pedals. They're just my favorite. I've been using them for 20 some years, almost 30 years, and I'm just a 5,000 guy. I just love the feel of them, and that's my choice. So as far as sticks, I've been using the Ahead sticks just this year. What's interesting about these is that I kind of didn't want to do this for a while. I was resistant. I'm like, no, I'm a wood guy. And then I started to play around with them. And Bob over at Big Bang said, look, this is what you need to do. Play with them for 4 or 5 days, then go back to wood. And if you have a problem going back to wood, I want you to call me. Well, I called him. I said, I have a problem going back to wood. Inside these things are these little spheres, okay? And as you know, like spheres don't completely touch. They have a little space. So that's airspace. These tiny little holes right here. Every time you strike this, those little beads jar around and some air escapes, and it makes for some shock absorption. These do not bend. They rarely break. I lost a tip once so far, and that's it. I freaking love these. These are a hybrid 5A, 5B, especially made for me, but you can actually get a hybrid 5A, 5B. I'm not sure about this colorway, but I can make this available if people are super into it. So let me know in the comments if you do want that. Slug Percussion. I'm using the beater badges from Slug Percussion. Absolutely love their stuff. It centers the sound. Kind of gives me a target. I can actually target the room. So that's kind of fun. I have a little LP tray for all my junk that I throw in here, my water, a towel, a mirror so I can check myself. You're not a glam rock drummer if you can't check yourself. So that pretty much wraps it up. Not too extensive. I'm not using triggers. Not using really any electronics. Totally organic here on this tour. I've used some triggers for my drum solo before, just to give like an ambiance. But I'm not doing that this year. It's just 100% organic. We're not doing anything artificial out here. Just pure rock and roll. Take care of each other, and of course, keep rock alive.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this.